Emilord. Episode 1.
Breaking ground.
This is Gord.
Hi. Well, I don't know if you can see it. Way back there, might be in the way. I just broke a little concrete footing that I put underneath for a wall that I never finished building years and years ago. We're just starting to get a few of these chips up, as you see here. You know, doesn't really want to go in the bucket. So, next we're going to push everything that away a bit. We're going to scooch the chipper out of the way here, and we're going to start to...
Gonna be a dinosaur?
Let's go.
Is that heavy?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's heavy, like the weight of all these plants I've killed.
Okay, we promise a full explanation of this project is coming, but until then, this is us scraping the building site clear with the used skid steer we bought for this project. That's a whole other story. At this stage, we were still waiting on our building permit getting approved, but we were able to go ahead with this part without having that permit in hand. So we did. At some point in the past, Gord had put a cinder block retaining wall in to hold up our parking area, and that all had to be dug out and removed. Lucky for us, cinder blocks are no match for this little skid steer. That's me up in the corner.
Hello, nurse. Yeah, so now we're just kind of getting rid of the debris that's kind of built up there over the time. And, yeah, now we're just trying to scrape the sidewalk there. That sidewalk isn't getting hurt by nothing. That thing's like rebar reinforced, 4 inches thick. It's mean and angry. Well, as mean and angry as a sidewalk can get. So, kind of practicing my backward slide move here. This is where you level the ground out and make it smooth and buttery. Well, so much for all the work that we can do with the skid steer. Now it's time to clean up the mess that I just made. Yay!
What Gord actually meant was, he makes the mess, and I clean it up.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna participate. See, here we go, I'm participating. So, nah.
So Gord, you want to give everyone the excellent news?
Hi, everybody. Well, we have finally, after many, many months worth of waiting, gotten our permit. So, just a quick recap on what we're going to do here for all of those of you not in my life and that have no idea what's going on here at lovely Shea Bestweek-Thibault or Tibwick or Best, whatever. We are going to be building in this manky old site a 1,000 square foot garage from scratch just by ourselves. That is me and Emily. We are starting this and we are just got our bin, gigantic 15-yard bin in, and we're about to start the excavation. I've just been doing a couple little test cuts here and there and moved a few bits of detritus around, and now it's time to It's time to scoop. Let's go!
Scoop in! Drive in! Dump in! Okay, now I'm dumping. I'm dumping again. And big rocks! And I'm dumping again. Oh yeah, there's Emily.
Good job! Okay. First big drama.
These pins are supposed to come in and out pretty easily. Oh,
Well, that looks spring-loaded.
there we go.
Okay.
Brute force. Okay, that wasn't very brutish, but today we're loading a bin.
Well, everybody, that's not good enough, but what we're going to do with that is we're just going to get rid of the last little bits of scrapings here and there, and we have to move this pile that you can see kind of maybe off the side, maybe not.
Let's see. Can we see this pile?
That pile.
Yeah, we can see this pile.
Yeah. That's mainly like organic clippings kind of stuff. So we're going to take and we're going to push that somewhere better. Maybe give some to neighbor Steve's compost heap. And then start moving that, minus all the non-organic debris. We're going to start moving that out to the front yard and building up neighbor Steve's yard. After a quick break.
Did we mention it is 31 degrees here today?
Take your hand off me. That's very hot.
Oh. Gord was trying his best to clear and scrape the site down with the flat blade on our bucket, but it was really slow going. We had bought a set of teeth to add on to the bucket, but they were only held on with a couple of screw-down clamps, and when we went to test them the first time, they fell off and Gord accidentally ran over them and put a wild twist into them. So we thought we'd take a minute, just keep going as best we could while we pondered how to straighten the teeth out. Gord actually came up with the solution to drive over them again in the opposite direction that they were bent, and that actually mostly worked, so yay. The last piece of the puzzle was finding a different way to attach them so they wouldn't fall off again.
How's everybody doing? Well, I can tell you that I'm not doing too bad. I've got a few jolts. But Emily here, well, I might have to take her in for some warranty service here. She's a little hurting. I'm a little sweaty. We need to... Okay, I'm extremely sweaty. We're gonna have to get this taken care of for tomorrow. I've got to drill some holes, put some bolts in here, straighten this out after I mangled it, because we were getting pretty much nowhere with the flat blade scraping that ground. So off to the races tomorrow morning. We'll see you then. You got it ended on this side of the fence. Hi everybody. Well, Emily is toiling away behind you. I'm offside because our skid steer decided to...
behind you?
Well, yeah, you're toiling behind me. See? Anyway, I'm working over there off screen because the skid steer decided to start acting nuts. So, Emily's doing some manual labor. Enjoy your drink.
While Gord was sorting out the engine issues we were having with the skid steer, I started work on cutting up the concrete footings that were under the old retaining wall. They put up a pretty wicked fight because of all the rebar Gord had put in, but I persevered.
You mean the saw persevered? You just held it.
In hindsight, I probably should have got the hose going while I was doing this, but I was feeling kind of lazy.
You know, for the amount of stick that she gives me about dust and wearing masks and all that, I have strong feelings on this.
Yeah, Mr. Personal Peanut Gallery. The blade we have for the saw is meant for concrete only, so it wasn't making any strides getting through the rebar, so I had to switch over to smashing away and just trying to break the concrete off around the rebar, and then go after that with a grinder later.
That's because you're so big and muscular.
So funny, Gord.
About out of the way. Probably tuck it in a bit more if I needed to.
We have an abundance of loose soil in our yard. It's great for gardening, but not so great for building on, so we knew we had to move a lot of dirt before we hit the undisturbed compact soil layer. Gord dug, and I checked our depth as we went to make sure that we were close to level for each footing step. Step footings turned out to be our best choice because we had less digging to get to the undisturbed soil the closer we got to the alleyway, which is at the back of our lot, which will also be the entrance to our garage. We rapidly ran out of space in our yard to pile all the dirt that was being removed, and we had to avoid a large area that runs along the side of our house because that's where we would be trenching to run all of the services. Thankfully, our next door neighbor graciously allowed us to fill up and regrade his front yard with our excess soil. This worked out really well for both us and him because he had a lumpy, weird slope in his front yard and we had no more room on our lot to pile any more dirt. So much dirt. Now I know what you're thinking. I look like a colossal wuss trying to push my way through this whiffy little soil layer, but I promise you, the underside of that is crazy hard compact clay. And that's what we want to be putting our footings on top of. It's just not a lot of fun getting it to a level spot.
We've got a big hole. Emily just finished chonking out this gigantic trench there, and she's exhausted. So let's go show you what we've done. We are making a stepped foundation. This is step number 1. That is step number 2, where we just came from. This particular hole in the ground is where our steps and entrance will be. We've now managed to get this just below where we have to pour the foundation, or the footings. We've got this level-ish.
We're gonna say ish.
Yeah, ish. And we're going to be coming by and getting a huge load of lumber once we get the BCLS people to come by and tell us that the corners we've surveyed are, well, they're just going to resurvey. They don't trust us. All right, come over here. And this is more of the hole. Let's take a look. So this is what's underneath our house. This is kind of it's a gray clay. It's really freaking hard. It's not quite a sandy clay, like it's ultra fine particles in this thing. And we've also got a bit of this stuff which has some iron in it. You can tell by the little orange bits there. So our house is sitting on an absolute buttload of this. Let's go show you what we did to neighbor Steve's yard.
Hey, look at that.
So I've raised this corner up by probably about 1 meter. And we are standing on what was, well, also about 1 meter. I think I've got this pretty smooth.
We're about to run out of battery.
Are you following me around?
Bye.
Bye. She did all the hard work.